Hey, Rob here for Quadratec.com. Today we're checking out the Topside Creeper from Traxion. Now those of you out there that like to wrench on your own Jeep know that you have a few essential tools needed for every job in your garage. But then you also have a few tools that make getting that job done much easier, and that's just what the Topside Creeper will do for you. Especially you guys out there with lifted Wranglers with large suspensions, big tires, maybe oversized fender flares, maybe even a bumper that features a winch or grill protector hoop on the front, can make accessing certain parts of your engine bay very difficult. And that's where the Topside Creeper comes in. It features 4 large casters that allows it to roll in place very easily. Also features these great cushion pads on certain parts of the Creeper that are going to protect your Jeep from accidental impacts. Now once you have it rolled into position, simply set the 2 locking tabs on the rear casters, and then you can go ahead and climb right up and get easy access to your engine bay. It's going to make working on your Jeep much safer. It's going to put you in an ergonomic position that's going to allow you to do the job for a longer period of time without becoming fatigued. Now, as you can see, this cushion pad on top is a great place to rest your elbows while you're inspecting or repairing something, but it can also support the full weight of your body, giving you both hands free to complete the job that you're working on. You also have a great tool pouch hanging off the front here that's going to allow you to keep everything you need to get the job done handy so you're not climbing up and down off of the Creeper. Now, if we go ahead and unlock those casters and roll it back out of the way, we have a lot of adjustability built into the Creeper that's going to make it compatible with your Jeep no matter what size lift or tire that you're running. It features 2 spring-loaded locking pins that we can simply remove, lower down the Creeper, and then there's also an adjustable bar at the bottom that's going to allow us to tilt the Creeper forward for the maximum amount of reach. Now in this lowest setting from the ground to the bottom of the chest pad frame, we have 40.5 inches of clearance there needed to roll over top of your engine bay. If we go ahead and tilt the ladder back, locking it in place in its most vertical position, and then lifting and locking the Creeper back in place, well, now we have a maximum amount of 64.75 inches to the bottom side of the chest pad frame. In addition to the 2 locking spring-loaded pins here, we also have 2 removable pins on the large support legs. Now those support legs give us a nice stable working platform, but they can be cumbersome when you're trying to store the Topside Creeper. By simply removing those 2 pins, we can fold those legs up, lower our Creeper into a lower position, and it's going to store in a nice compact package for you, easy to store away in your garage. We've also got some great grip tape on each of the steps to give you a nice sure footing while you're working. Now when you order the Topside Creeper, it will need some assembly when it arrives to you. It's just going to require a few hand tools, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Before we begin assembly of the Topside Creeper, it's a good idea to go ahead and lay all the components out on the floor just to make sure we're not missing anything. It's also a great idea to do the same with your hardware and your tools. Now speaking of tools, we're going to be using a 19mm wrench as well as a 13mm and a 10mm wrench to do the assembly. You're also going to need a 19mm socket, a 17mm socket, a 13mm and a 10mm socket, as well as a socket wrench, and you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. All right, we can go ahead and start assembly by grabbing our base frame. And we can take the cardboard protectors off. And we can lay that with the channels facing up. And we can go grab the 2 legs. And position these with the adjustment towards the base frame. And you want the legs curving outwards. Now you can go ahead and grab 2 of the larger 2.5 inch long bolts, as well as your 19mm socket and wrench, 19mm wrench, 2 of the nylon lock nuts, and we're going to bolt the adjustment legs to the base. We can go ahead and grab our 2 pins and secure the folding legs with the 2 removable pins. Next, we can grab our casters, starting with the locking casters. And they will go on the base side of our frame. Grab the remaining 2 casters and install these onto the end of the folding legs. The squared off base of the caster will fit into the square hole on the leg. Now we can grab our flange nuts and our 17mm socket. Now we can go ahead and tighten all 4 casters. Next, we can go ahead and remove our pad frame from the step assembly. And we can set that aside. Now carefully lift up your step assembly and raise the steps and lock it in place using these spring-loaded pins. Just watch your fingers so that you don't pinch yourself. And once you get that secured, you can go ahead and move the whole step assembly onto our base frame. Grab 2 of the larger 2.5-inch long bolts, the lock nuts, as well as the 19mm socket and 19mm wrench. And we're going to secure the step frame to the base frame. And just like with the bolts on the adjustable folding legs, you want to make sure that we simply snug those down, but don't over tighten them. You want to be able to adjust the ladder to different angles. Next, we can go ahead and grab our angle adjustment keepers. 2 plates that have sort of a fish hook shape to them. And we'll grab our 4 1/2-inch by 10mm nuts and lock nuts, as well as our 10mm wrench and socket. And the angle adjustment keeper plates are going to act as a security plate to keep the angle adjustment from coming out of the adjustment points on the base frame here. You're going to secure that in place with 2 bolts and 2 lock nuts per side. Next, we can grab the cross tube support bar, and that's going to go in place on top of the base legs. Also grab 2 of the 3-inch long bolts, nylon lock nuts, as well as our 13mm socket, wrench, Next, we can go ahead and grab our 6 9/16 bolts and lock nuts, as well as that 13mm wrench and 13mm socket. We can grab our chest pad support bracket, and secure that to the top of the step frame. Next, we can go ahead and grab our pouch bracket. It's just this 10-inch long bar, our tool pocket, 2 of the Phillips head screws, and 2 of the 10mm nylon lock nuts, as well as our 10mm socket. Install the Phillips head screws through the pouch bracket, and then the grommets in the tool pouch, and then install the assembly onto the front of the chest pad bracket. Now we can go ahead and grab the chest pad, the 2 Phillips head screws, and you can bolt the chest pad to the bracket, threading the screws up through the frame and into the threaded inserts on the bottom side of the chest pad. The last step is to go ahead and grab our 4 foam bump pads and install them on the lower legs, as well as this bump bar on the back side of the step ladder. And the 4th right here at the base on the front side of the step ladder. Now, if you guys want to get more information or purchase a Topside Creeper by Traxion to make your next DIY project not only easier but safer, well, you can click on that info button to head over to Quadratec.com. Of course, if you have any comments or questions about the Topside Creeper, well, you can leave those in the comments section for us below, or you can contact us at any of the options on the screen in front of you. And you'll definitely want to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're sure to catch all of our latest product review videos, as well as much, much more. Till next time, I'm Rob. See you guys out on the trail.